Hi, thanks for joining us on PO Sports Talk. I'm Colin Stevens alongside Mike Miller. We're in the final push to the playoffs now with only 2 games left in the regular season. And it's a beautiful Tuesday. Let's hope this weather, holds up here for Friday. We've heard, possible snow coming and lots of rain, but a night like this would be perfect. So the first game we're going to look at is Greencastle Antrim at Shippensburg. Two of the top teams in the area, no doubt, and both definitely going to be there for the playoff push. And for me, I'm definitely leaning towards Shippensburg at this game. They've got home field advantage, and Tyler Savlarski might not be playing for the Blue Devils, which could be huge for the Greyhounds. The Greyhounds have had really strong defense this season, and having to really just concentrate on Denver Cordell and Austin Scott's arm, which we're not even sure if he's going to be there. He missed the last 2 games. That could really play big in Shippensburg's favor. The things that I think are going to be key are going to be Jeremy Muster and Branson Allen in the defensive secondary. If they can take away the Cordell brothers, Denton and Denver, from any long plays, that would be big, especially if they make them one-dimensional into the running attack. And they've got some big backs that can break long plays. William Burt had a few long ones last week, and I think it'll be a close game still, but I think Shippensburg will pull this one out by 3 points and get a 27-24 victory. So, what do you think is going to happen, Mike?
You sort of laid it out there for Shippensburg. I'm going to go the opposite way. I just think Greencastle's too strong of a team. They've proven to have the best stable of running backs in the area, and even if Saflarski doesn't play for the Blue Devils, they still have Denver Cordell, who is absolutely one of the area's best running backs this season, and that goes for all the mid-state. He's just had a great year for the Blue Devils. And besides that, they also have Aaron Boomball, who could sort of pick up the load in short yardage situations if in fact they can't get Saflarski, who's been their big goal line back this year. In last week's big win over Northern, Greencastle showed just how important the Cordells are to that team. There was a Cordell involved in every scoring play for the Blue Devils. Denver ran a few, Denton caught a few, and Denver even threw a 45-yard touchdown pass to Gabe Fridgen. So that just sort of illustrates how important the Cordells are, with or without Tyler Saflarski in the lineup. Ship has been pretty decent against the run this year, but they haven't faced just a pounding, relentless running attack like Greencastle has. I agree with you, it will be a close game, but I don't see Shippensburg pulling out home field or not. I'm picking Greencastle 2013 in this one. So, like you said, it'll be a great game. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll both be there, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it should be a good one. So next we're going to look at Cedar Cliff at Chambersburg. Cedar Cliff's won 3 of the last 4 games, and their only loss was against Bishop McDevitt. They also beat Susquehanna Township, which has been the best team I've seen all season. So to beat a team like that, I don't think things are really going to be too good for Chambersburg in this game. I think Chambersburg is definitely building a better program, but right now they're just too young. Their 2 top offensive threats are sophomores, and I just don't think they can hang for a full season. Jordan Brown hasn't been able to play the last few weeks, and I think Jamal Pickett is definitely not looking like he has that same explosiveness as he had the first week. So against the Cedar Cliff team, I'm unfortunately going to have to go against the hometown team and pick Cedar Cliff in a 31-10 loss.
Like you said, I think Chambersburg is definitely on the way up, but just like we saw last week against State College, they're not there yet. Last week they had trouble moving they moved the ball fine in between the 20s, but as soon as they got into the red zone, they just couldn't do anything. So I think this will be another step in the right direction, as far as this week is. But I can't see them winning. But like you said, they're on the way up. It's just it's tough to get over that hump, and maybe next year will be the year they finally get over some of these giants in the mid-pen.
And Chambersburg is still looking good for the playoffs with 5 wins. If they get one more, it'll pretty much lock them up. So hopefully they can nab one in these last couple games. And then another team that's still in the playoff hunt is Waynesboro. They're 3-5 right now, but they're right on the outskirts of that 16-team playoff pool. So if they can win these last 2 games, they have a shot at being in, and they're playing Gettysburg and James Buchanan, 2 teams that have only combined for 2 wins this season. So certainly it's in their favor that they could pull out a win. Last week against Shippensburg, Waynesboro looked pretty solid. To start the game, they were flying around defensively, but they wore down, and they had 2 onside kick against them that Shippensburg recovered both. So it was just some mental stuff and signs that it's just not a mature team yet, which head coach Scott Shagru said, he knows and he's aware, but they're definitely building towards the future. But I'm going to pick them to get the win against Gettysburg this weekend. I think it's going to be Not a blowout for sure, not a high-scoring game, but I'm seeing a 24-17 victory in the Indians' favor.
Yeah, I think the Waynesboro story has been my favorite storyline of the season. They really have come out of nowhere and just had a great year. Of course, a lot of that success is due to Johnny Adgers and the success he's had on the ground, but they're going to win out. They're going to beat Gettysburg this week, and they're going to beat James Buchanan next week. Those wins won't do much for their power ratings, but they're two big wins nonetheless, and two big wins that could catapult them into the playoffs. So we'll see.
And speaking of James Buchanan, that's going to be our next game. They're hosting West Perry this Friday. West Perry's kind of at 3-5. They've had a mixed bag season. Got some wins they maybe shouldn't have, and lost a few they maybe should have won. So this could be a game that James Buchanan steals, but it's probably not going to be the case. What do you think, Mike?
Their offense has just been sputtering as of late. That Greencastle game seems to really set them back. Last week they only had about 57 yards of total offense. They're just not getting anything done on the ground. Corey Quivers really can't find anybody to throw to, and he's been forced to really make stuff out of nothing this year. He's been running the ball a lot, but there's really not been much success. They really just can't match up with some of these larger, more fast, quicker teams. So I don't see this as a James Buchanan victory. Unfortunately, I'm picking West Perry 28-10 over James Buchanan. So long season gets longer for the Rockets.
Cool. And another team that's having a long season is Mercersburg. They're going to be hosting Petty on Saturday. Mercersburg is coming off their first win of the season, so congratulations, guys. But it's going to be another tough week for them. I think they were playing a smaller team from D.C. who, maybe doesn't have as much talent as Mercersburg has. So who knows how much that win really meant, even though it was a win. So we're still happy to see that. But will they make it back-to-back wins, a win streak for Mercersburg?
We talked about this now. The streak ends now. It's a one-game win streak. It's not going to go much further than that. Petty struggled on the road. I will say there's one thing in Mercersburg's favor, and that is Petty is 0-3 on the road this year. Petty's 3-3 overall, but they just haven't brought it really on the road. But then again, Mercersburg really hasn't taken home field advantage to its advantage. So I don't see this as another Mercersburg win. Unfortunately, I was picking them the last 2 weeks. It ends here. I'm taking Petty 34-6.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, guys. If you disagree with us, please contact us at our Twitter account, @PO Sports Desk. We're interested to hear your thoughts. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week. Enjoy the games. What up?